Hi guys, and welcome to another video from Overbite Gaming, and today we're going to be talking a little bit about Sifu. Now Sifu is a game I was a little bit hesitant to get because the word on the street is it's quite difficult. And yeah, it is, but it does it in such a good way. It's always fun regardless of how much you're getting your ass kicked. So Sifu basically is about a young child who witnesses the murder of his master at the hands of 5 different kung fu masters. And his revenge quest. So you start off as 20-year-old revenge-driven Sifu man. I don't think he's actually got a name. And you basically work your way through 5 levels, working up to each different kung fu master and slaughtering him. It's so good. It's so well done. It's super fun. It is difficult. I have completed it, so I'm a little bit proud, considering I normally play things on easy. Yeah, so basically what you have is a really interesting mechanic where you age. So if you're in a particularly hard fight, you might die like 2 or 3 times, and you'll have a death count, which will go up every time you die, obviously. And then when you die, the death counter gets taken off of your life, well, added onto your life, I should say. You get older. So you start off at 20. And then you get progressively older and the character model changes and gets a beard and grows a little bit craggy with some bushy old eyebrows going on. But there's also gameplay effects to you aging. So basically you have 5 different coins which allows you to resurrect. Every time you go past 10 years, you lose a coin. So once you've lost all 5, hit 70 years old, the next death is permanent and you will be game overed. So it's a little bit roguelike in that regard. It's quite well done, but like as you get older, you find that what happens is you can take less damage, but you also deal more damage. So you do become a bit of a glass cannon at the end of it. But it's still, you know, if you're able to effectively evade strikes, then it's pretty shit good, really. I mean, you're an old man with insane punching power. What do you want? The aging also gates off skills. So certain skills you will only be able to get if you're under a certain age. And you do this, there's 3 different ways you can acquire stuff. The usual way is via XP. This can be spent after a death, or when you're back at your sort of hub area. There's an actual tree for the skill tree, which is just beautiful. I love it. And you can get skills, but some of the skills will close off if you're over a certain age. For instance, I think one of the early ones is weapon durability, and that closes off really early. You also find little shrines on your way through the different maps, and you can use those to enhance yourself. So you can, it's either done through XP, which you have to spend. There's one which is dependent on age, and another which is the points that you ranked up in that level. And you can do things like extend your life, increase the life you get back from takedowns, increase weapon durability, stuff like that. You also have your own skill tree outside of that, where there are different moves. So you can have a charged up hook, or you can have focus attacks, which is you hold down, I think, left trigger, and it will focus on the enemy, and then you use a radial menu to pick which attack you want to use, and you just let it go. So there's like an eye strike and stuff like that, and that's really good for breaking hard enemies and being able to get some additional strikes in after the initial focus attack. The gameplay itself is you have X and Y, which do light and strong attacks. You can guard, evade, or parry using the right bumper. So if you hold it down, you're guarding. If you hit it at just the right time, you'll parry, and if you hold it down and move the right stick up and down, you'll evade high or low attacks. Now that is easily the best option when it comes to like people throwing shit at you, because you have what's called a fortification meter. I think it's called a fortification meter, I should check, but I think that's what it is. And basically that meter will fill up as you get hit in your block, and as soon as that fills all the way up, your block's broken and you can get hit properly. Some attacks will blow through it pretty quickly as well, so you need to be very sure Also, being able to counter means you don't get any of that, not counter, evade, means you don't have to deal with any of that. And I think it works into your points combo as well, because it will go up to ×5. If you don't get hit, when you get hit, it resets, and that affects the points you earn and what you can spend at the shrines. With me so far, ladies and gentlemen. There is also an actual evade button where you take steps. It's less... I find I use it less to avoid attacks than I do just to rearrange myself. So obviously you don't want to be like in the middle of a big group of bad guys. You want to have them all on side so you can concentrate better and not have to worry about punches coming from anyway, because if you get like sandwiched by a number of them, they will beat the hell out of you. And that's not good for anyone but them, and we don't like them. There's a lot of pickups that you get around the levels. A lot of it's just fluff, so you have a little bit of backstory going on and more information on the Kung Fu Masters. Other ones will be keys, which you can open up doors. Once you've picked it up, that's it. You've got it for all of your runs. You don't need to get it again. So in a future run, you can unlock a door which will bypass some of the level and means you get to the end faster and potentially don't take as much damage. But you will also miss out on like some of the shrines, obviously the XP you get for putting people down. So it's a risk-reward sort of thing if you want to take a shortcut through the level. Some of the levels are absolutely fantastic. There are a couple of scenes where it goes down into like a 2D side-on sort of thing almost. And it's very reminiscent of like the Old Boy corridor fight. Or I suppose if you're young, the Daredevil Season 1 corridor fight. Where it's just you going from one side to the other, just massacring people. And it's super satisfying. There are weapons in the game. They range from tantos to pipes, sections of bamboo, all kinds of stuff. But you can also improvise weapons. So you can use a bottle. You unlock a skill where you can just... anything you stood near, you can just instantly weaponize. So if you like stood near a chair, you can kick the chair at an opponent just by holding down the right bumper. Very Jackie Chan. I love it. It really does do a fantastic job in reminding me of like all those great kung fu movies. It is difficult, as I said. Some of the bosses are arseholes. I remember the second boss was really the litmus test for me, where I wasn't using sort of evasion in the sort of hold down guard and use the left stick, and I couldn't land a punch on him. He just murdered me to death multiple times. Game over. Second boss. First time I came to him. So I went away and I did what all frustrated gamers do. I went to YouTube and I looked for some hints, and they were like, yeah, if you can like evade high, you're golden on this. And you are. It is so much easier. You just need to practice it. There is a training mode where you can just battle never ending. It's not very satisfying. You know, there's only one opponent. He just keeps getting up. So, but for actually getting timings down on stuff like the evasion it's super useful. But then again, you know, you're not getting any XP for it. So play the game. If you die, it doesn't matter. You'll get XP. So the way the XP is spent in your skill tree is also very cool. So you have a move, it's got a set XP price, say it's 500, I think they go up to like about 1500, somewhere around there. So say it's 500, so you spend 500, unlocks it. Now if you spend 500 on that an additional 5 times during a run, that will unlock it forever. You don't need to unlock that game. I have all the moves unlocked now. So anytime I start up, I absolutely don't need to worry about that, and I can just carry on progressing through the game, and I'm a boss because I have all these moves unlocked. I just can't. I mean, if you're looking at the screen right now, and why wouldn't you be? My face is on it, I promise. But just look at it. It's amazing. I mean, okay, it's graphically, it's no. It's no Crisis 3 or what have you nowadays. But it looks good, it runs good, I think I'm running, top of my head here, I could be wrong, but I think I'm running at like 144 Hertz pretty consistently with very little drops. So yeah, it's just a super fun game. Even when you lose, it's still fun. And because you're building up these skills on each run, it gets I wouldn't say easy, but certainly you get a few more tools to throw at them. You have a good variety of bad guys. The big ones are... Well, I was going to say the big guys that throw you are the most annoying ones, but they're not, because you've got enemies that have like a slight shimmer around them. So you go to like do the execution move or whatever it is, takedown, and then all of a sudden they push you off, and they're like 5 times harder. I'm just like, damn it. So they're quite annoying, but you can get through them. You know, one-on-one they're not too bad, but once, you know, if you don't spot that initial shine and take them down early, when you're in a room full of enemies, like everybody attack you and that big bastard who's like just no-selling all your attacks, yeah, that becomes a problem pretty quick. So, Sifu, it's not that expensive. I think it's about 32 paths. And it is an Epic Store exclusive on PC, which is what I'm obviously running it on. It is available on the consoles as well, I believe. And it's by Slowclap, and I've not come across Slowclap before, nor have I done any research like a responsible reviewer should have done. So I don't know what they've done. It's reviewing amazingly well with pretty much everybody. You know, even if most of the outlets that get put on posters aren't worth the screens they're printed on. No, that doesn't work. You know what I mean? They're pretty trash nowadays. So yeah, go check out YouTube reviews like mine if you want an honest opinion on games. Anyway, guys, let me know down below. Have you bought Sifu? Are you a Sifu master? Oh, that's Master, isn't it? No, that doesn't work either. Weird. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking now because I'm rubbish. Anyway, guys, that's all for this week. Take it easy, and I'll catch you later.